recording. Yeah, so it's recording now. So here, I'm advising you take it step by step. So take a look here. Write a Java program to save, modify, undo, undo, undo. You would find as a question, as a header, describing everything. But step by step, you can find what you should do. So first, ask the user. You should gain, like I did here on the board, should gain a general view of the problem. But you apply one by one. So first, you ask the user how many students to be saved. So it's easy to do that or not? So I will go here in Java. I'm trying to do that here. It's the system here. So I want integer n. And I want ask the user system.out. It's a very big question and may be confused. So follow me if I did something wrong or I may confuse. Println, please tell me how many students. So whatever he tell me that, I would accept that in n. So n equal s dot next, like next integer. So the user tell me how many students. So I'm okay now to declare the two arrays. So here when I declare the first array, which should be string. Its name is students, as we said. It's equal new string of n, right? So I'm declaring the first array of students with the size of n. And I'm declaring another one, integer, grades, equal new integer of n. Okay, so I asked the user how many students. He told me, and I declared my two arrays, one here and one here. I'm okay. So go back to the student, to the question. I would ask the user for the student and name and grade. So now I should ask the user what is the name of each one of those n's, and what's the grade of this one, and I should save this student string in the string array and integer array as we did. So now, in order to fill an array, if you remember that, we talked about that many times. In order to fill an array or print out an array, you should loop through the array from the index 0 at the beginning up to n, which is the last element of the array. So in order to fill an array, we'll do for integer I, for example, equals 0, I less than n, and I plus plus. I would say for the user a message like, please enter student number, student name, for example, name, number, and if you remember we did that before, just for formatting purpose, student number, and here plus I plus 1. It's only, guys, for formatting. So you tell me student number 1, for example. And again, for formatting, I'm doing this column here. So this is just to look like. And this was a student, what the user would enter as a student name. I would put in array students of I would equal s dot next. And you can use next line too. Whatever. So now I fill in the array. At the same time, I can fill in the grade. So s dot next integer. But I should for sure do a message as well. So I should do a message. Please enter student grade. I don't need to do all of that. So just enter student grade. So now its grade is not correct. What is here is grades, ES. Okay, so now whatever I did, I just filled in the student name and student array. To be sure that we did okay, how can we print out that? So we print out that the same way. We do another loop here. I just would like to be sure I enter this okay. So no this one or no this one. I will just do here students of I. Here's S. And here grades of I. I would run the program like that. The program doesn't do anything at all, just asks the user how many of students, and then fill them out, and using this loop I'm printing them out. So I just would like to be sure I'm doing okay. So please tell me, I'm running, tell me how many students. For example, you said 5. Please enter student name number 1. I said, for example, A. Enter grade 20. Number 2, B. 30. C. 40. D. 50. Why is 5? I said 5? Okay. So let's say E and 60. So I do have them here entered starting from A20, B30, and so on up to E60. So I'm sure now I managed to fill in the array and print out from the array. And if you do that, guys, your exam, if you do the steps like this, that will help. That give you points. As I said before, it's not an on and off. You have to attempt. Okay, so go back here. I'm done with that. And come here. So I'm now designing this interface. It's up to you how to design it. Just a printout. But you have to be sure. I would add something here, like for example Q. Let's do a small Q for quit. So you've done your exam. Yes, please.
When I used for the string input, when I used s.next line, it wouldn't work. It print both of them at the same time. Like please enter student name and please enter student grade.
When you use next line, that would face the enter. So that makes a problem for that. If you do enter, it take it like a character. So they're confused. You have to do one loop for student, another loop for grades. Yes?
Can you explain the second for loop?
This second for loop. The second for loop, we just did that for print out the array. So array here, up to finish this first for loop, I'm pretty sure that the 2 arrays are filled with student and grade. Here I just would like to be sure I'm okay. So I'm just print out what is inside the arrays. So I do for loop through the arrays, just print out element per element of student and grade to be sure this is okay. So it's printed here. I'm just sure it's okay. It's not part of the solution right now, but just to be sure, yes. I can't hear you, sorry. Yeah, or by hand. By hand. No. That's a good question, guys. So you do the question by hand, and you should, listen to me, you should accord your time very good, because it may be too long and time is too thick, so you have to be to the point. You shouldn't do this, wasting your time by doing that, because you won't see that on a paper. So you don't do that for sure. At the exam, I do that here, just to be sure for learning for us. So we go back here. In order to do an interface that happened many times. So if you talked about that before, in order to have this, like here, Q for credit, in order to have this is repeated many times, we should have a character. Let's call character order. This character will accept from the user with the order. If he said B, I'm doing this way. If he said M, I'm doing this way. If he said Q, I'm out of the program. In order to do that, we use do and while. Do while, and while what? While order, this character not equal Q. Semicolon here for while. Don't forget that. So, this is what we repeated many times until you enter what? This Q. And you have to update that inside. You have to say here order equal s dot next dot character at 0 to update that. And in order to do that here, you have to print out this one first. You have to design the menu first. then in order to action, we for sure would do this using a switch. Switch order. And case P, you do whatever inside B. Case M, you do whatever inside M. So you are sure that do while will repeat until you enter Q. You have to update this order many times. And you have to design that first and do a switch. And for every single one, you have to do whatever accessible here. So let me first do this do while. Before I'm doing that, take it step by step. You don't do that in exam, but I do here just again for, I would here first, or to be organized, I will say here character order. Character to take the order from the user. And while here, order not equal Q. Don't forget semicolon here. And here inside, I would design the interface. You start by designing the interface. So I would design it's very simple for the time's sake. I would take this one here. So print ln. For example, I would do this one for P. If I do it small, you have to do that. Print your arrays. I'm just designing what is for the user. And what else? This is, for example, what is M, modify student grade. And C, calculate student grades. And what else? S, search through the array. And Q for quit. I didn't do anything, I'm just designing what is given out to the user. Using print, just to design that. So here, I would say order equal s dot next dot character at index 0, just to get it from the user. So I design and I wait for the user to enter a character. Up to now, this do while will do nothing. It just, if you enter Q, it will go out. Anything else, it will still here. So if you enter that, if you run that, again, let's say it's 2 students, student A and 22, student C and 3. That's it. So this is a design here, guys. This is the output. So this is a design here. It's up to you. And the user now, or the compiler now, is waiting for you to enter a character. Now, if you enter anything like P, for example, that wouldn't do anything. Why? Because I didn't program what B should do yet, right? What is programmed here up to now is only the Q. So it will be, if you entered any character, it will repeat it. If you entered S, repeat it. If you entered C, nothing will happen. Until now, it's implemented like if you entered Q. So Q is done. Q's program is done, right? So now, I would like to, after I get the character here, I would like to program every single one of them. I already programmed this Q to get out. But now in order to do that, after I get order from the user, I would do what? A switch here. So switch, help me with the syntax of switch, because I never remember that. Because you know, switch in MATLAB, different than switch in Java, and in Python, and so on. So it's case B. What's B? And be aware, B is capital or small here. So it's so small to be consistent. It's capital here. And I have this one and this one like this. So I would like now, so this is a switch. And this is the first case here. what is case B should do? So go back here to your question. B should print student names and grades. Just print them, as we did here. So I will take this for loop we did and put it inside B here. So inside B, if you input B as a character, you would print whatever inside the arrays. And don't forget, because I am all the time forget to do break here. Yes, because this is very important. In Java, it's very important, as you know. So now I implemented the B. Let me run that and see. So it's two student, A, 22, and C, 33. So my menu here, if I entered B as a character capital, I would have the whatever inside the arrays here. So it's printed out. If I have something else, like for example M, that won't happen anything because I didn't implement M yet. If I have Q, I would get out of the program, which is okay. Now, I would like to here do case M, which is a very important one. So this is the case of M. What is M going to do? As we said here on the board, M will modify a student grade. In order to do that, I should know what is the name of the student. So I should first ask the user, what is the name of the student? Then I would search through the array for this name and then modify. Okay? So in order to do that, first thing I would say string, for example, st equal, or I would do a printout message. We are running out of time, but we would have. Please enter student name to modify. And I would declare a character, yes.
Up above, you gave students each their own number. Can you search for students using that number? Or do you want to
We will do both. I will first search using student name and modify the number. And I will, in another task, search using the grade and tell what is the name.
I mean, like, up above when you said, like, please enter student number 1.
No, not number 1. Student number is general. I would search inside the array. Right, show you that. So here, I would say it's s dot next. And I would ask the user again here, please enter the new grade. And I would get this one is integer, like let's say new, and s dot next integer. What I'm doing now, I will ask the user, what is the name? He tell me A. What is the new grade? He tell me 30. So I should replace whatever inside A to the new one. So now I have in a string st a student name. I should go through the array, look for this name. How can I do that? I can do that using a for loop, everything using a for loop, integer I equals 0, I less than n, which is the size of the array, and I plus plus. And I would do a check. So we go one by one and check. If students of I, element by element as we said, dot equals st, that means what? Yes.
So, are we just assuming that the user will always enter capitals?
No, it's up to you. It's up to you.
Do we have to account for that?
It doesn't matter here for the comparison because it will be equal. It's up to you, I mean here, to put it B and Q. But it's case sensitive. So if you do it as B capital, you have to enter as B capital to be executed. So guys, if you do here B capital, you have to do case B capital. If you do M small, you have to do case M small in order to work. This is case sensitive. Okay? So, what's going to happen here? If student of I, so if you go with this array here on the board, it will go element by element, comparing the one as array with st that the user entered. If this one is okay, that's mean inside this if I found it. If I found it very simple that I said grades of I equal new. Because I is the same, as we said index is the same. I'm just modifying the corresponding I to the new that the user entered to me. And to be really, really professional, I should do break here. Okay? So let me do that. And enter. So it is two elements, A and 20. Remember that. B and 30. I have this one, I would say M. What is the name? I would say A. What is the grade? A was what? 20. I would say 50. So I would modify A from 20 to 50. Done? Okay. So I would do B just to print out to see the effect. So if I do that, I would have A is now 50 and B is 30 as it is. Okay? That's what happens here. And what happened if he didn't find inside your array this student? In order to do that, to be more and more professional, this is not mandatory, but to be more professional here. If I came here and said if I equal n minus 1, what does that mean? If he comes to this one, to come to I equal n minus 1, that's mean the last element. And if he reached the last element without breaking from here, so he didn't find it inside the array. So I can just say here a message like this student not found. And can I add a message here before this break? Like, I'm talking about professional guys. Modifying done. Okay, so let me try that again. So here is 2, A and 2, C and 3. Let's make a modify. Let's look for D. Do we have D? No. So tell me what. Please enter new get. Okay, 20. This student is not found. Okay, because D is not found. Try again, M. Look for A and ask for 30. So modifying done because A is found there. Okay, so that's for modifying. It's really, really straightforward, but a little bit confusing. You have to understand that. Watch this video. Imagine, draw the two strings in front of you, trace the loop to find the corresponding ones. Okay? So that's for modify. What else? Search. Let's go with search. Where's the case here? Let me do case S, which is search. What I would like to happen here, yes, please. This one? You would like to explain that? Okay, so this one, what is the size of this one? It's n, right? Let's say n is equal 5. If you go through this one, here, n equal how much? How much? Equal 4, right? So I'm doing break here. That's mean if I find the student name here, I won't break and not continue, right? If I want here, if that doesn't happen, I'm not breaking. And I'm reaching here. I'm reaching n equal 4. What does that mean? It means it went through all the array and then no matching happened because the student is not found. So if this is the case here, I would say the student is not found here. Okay? That's my, just for professional guys. So now for search, for S, what I would like to do is, you tell me what is the grade, and I'm logging here and tell you what is the student name. So it's opposite. So in order to do that, I would do a for loop again, like this one here, for. Before for, sorry, I would ask for that again. Let me do it the same copy paste here. So I will ask, please enter student grade to search for. So you tell me the student grade first. And I get that using integer new. And I don't need student name now. So just tell me the student grade. I will do a for loop here, the same like this one. Okay, and I will say if grades now, not student of I equal new, that's mean I found it. So here I would output the student name is plus students of I, the corresponding one when I found that. He told me the student name, if he found that. Let me try that. Two students, A 22, B 55, and now I will search as what is the grade? Let's say 55. So if I said 55, the student name is B. Okay, so this is search, for example. How can you do calculate, for example? So if you do calculate here, I would say case C. Then I would ask first for the total mark. So I would do the same like this one here. What is total mark? And then I would get that in the new student. Then I will do the same for loop, but here a little bit different. So for loop, and I would divide. I would say if, for example, grades of I divided by new greater than or equal 0.5, which is greater than, that means this student is passed, right? So I would just print out here like this one. Student name is passed. He would tell me, let's try that because I'm not sure that's gonna work. So 2A 20 and B 70, and I would do the C, but the total marks, let's say 100. He will tell me nothing. So 20 over 100 is what? So 55 or what? Oh, that's so sorry guys. So because that's integers, that's not gonna do that. Again, because I don't have time for that. Because this grade array I declared as integer, this new is declared as integer. We divide that, it discards the decimal part, so that doesn't gonna work. So to fix that, if it's asked in an exam, just declare this one as double, not as integer. Okay? So if you would like to do that. Again, the problem here doesn't match because those both are integers, not double. If you do that yourself at home, just try to do it as double. Okay? So just and done for that. That's totally what I would like to say. Nothing more.